BrightSign got it started actually as a company called Roku, which actually is a leader in the over-the-top consumer space. So actually, Roku was started early on, focused on the high definition marketplace, and then what happened is it basically grew into two businesses, one in the consumer space and one in the commercial space. And then in 2009, we actually separated the company into a company focused on the commercial space, which is BrightSign, and the consumer company called Roku. So today we still, I'm on the board of Roku and Anthony Wood is on the board of BrightSign. And so we share kind of, ideas and technology insight, but really we are two separate companies with BrightSign really focused on the commercial market. So we actually got it started in the POP market, building displays for retail establishments trying to sell their own goods. This was back in 2004 when there wasn't a lot of people talking about digital signage. It was a very nascent industry back then. And we didn't even know what it was called either. So we were helping them build demonstration platforms to sell their products. We've now evolved a long ways. We've gone through several different platforms from a company perspective, from kind of low-end boxes early on with the technology to now, boxes that outstrip the capabilities of mainstream PCs to give you digital signage capabilities that, as we say it, if you can dream it, we can build it for you. This is totally our space. This is BrightSign is focused on digital signage, and I think I see a lot of people ask me, what is digital signage? And when I look at it, it's really hard to define because it's a very broad market, but kind of my definition that I tell people is that if you see an LCD display that's not showing just broadcast television, that's digital signage. Yeah, so it really applies to it, and it applies from little bitty displays to very large displays throughout throughout every different kind of market, whether it's the museums and little kiosks to traditional digital signage as we think of it in retail, where it's just plain loops, to display walls. I mean, you name it. There's wherever there's an LCD that's not doing commercial TV, it's pretty much the digital signage, and we participate in all those different markets. As we see it from BrightSign's perspective, we, as I mentioned earlier, we started out kind of at the low end, the little simple solid state media player, and now kind of evolved the technology to a point where it outstrips the capabilities of most PCs. And what we see really going forward is the technology in the platform continues to move up, which gives you the ability to do more interesting things and engage people on the platform side. Early on, you were doing just a good enough job to get full HD video playing. That was about as much as you could do. Now it's building applications where there's full HD video, there's overlays coming in, there's analytics coming in, all this being merged together in real time, so you can create an experience for the person looking at it, or actually coming up to interact with it with all different kind of technologies, whether it's RFID or NFC. All these interesting technologies are all starting to merge into what's now digital signage. As we look at it, we work with a lot of different people, from folks that update their content once every 6 months, like in a POP display. You don't really need a display. You've had a great product presentation and it's going to play for a while, to people who really have audience that's coming by the sign multiple times per day. And if you think about the cadence of refresh rate for those two, it's very different, and you need to address different things. Well, if you're trying to actually have someone produce content that's going to be refreshed multiple times a day, that's a very, very challenging task. So what we work with people to do is automate a lot of that, so that you're taking data feeds from all these various sources, aggregating it together, and actually controlling the content based on the data that's coming in. And this is not only bringing in text feeds and rendering them like a kind of RSS feed. Yeah, you can do that, and that kind of gives you news and sports and things like that, which people are interested in. But if you really look at where it's going, it's taking technology and changing the display. For example, if you're a coffee shop, if it's 85 degrees outside and you're a coffee shop, you don't want to show a steaming cup of coffee. That's not applying. What you want to do is talk about your, grand mocha, whatever, that's this, cold drink, right? So what we've been doing with people is actually like taking temperature feeds and changing what's on the display based on temperature. Those are kinds of things that comes up where you're starting to take data and drive the display. So it allows you to change the content without having to change the content. Yeah, so you basically plug in a little USB temperature probe and you know the temperature. Or what we're also doing is we connect Or we can connect into data services where they have the temperature, right? There's a whole bunch, and you can get the outside temperature that's real-time updated on web services. So you can update the temperature and then change what's on the screen. That's really where things are going, because there's all this information. How do you take that information and make your sign more relevant to the experience? And the other thing is taking into account inventory. So if you're that coffee shop and you're running out of one of the pastries, well, it's silly to have it up on your digital menu board. Why not have your digital menu board kind of reformat itself and take that off the list? Same thing, it ties into the inventory control system, takes it off, so when someone comes into order, they don't say, oh, I want that morning bun. Oh, we're out of it. It shouldn't even be showing up. So we're doing those kind of things also. Way, way, way intelligent science. So it's taking all this data that's available, and that's where when you look at the connected world of digital signs, they're not just connected to give me my next piece of content, give me all of this other information that I can now process and have that sign change and be relevant to the person that's walking past it 5 times a day. So, it's a nice thing from BrightSign's perspective, because, our world is we build media players, and we connected to pretty much any kind of output devices that are out there. So from the transparent screens to the big LED, billboards on highways, people use our products in those environments. 1, because they're incredibly reliable, but 2, they span all those different markets. So we get to see a lot of these things that people do and the integration with the different services on top of it. So so we're always working with the different display manufacturers, whether they're these little long, thin displays or the big LED displays or the transparent displays to the projector displays. I don't know if you saw the Casio booth where they have a little talking head. That's powered by BrightSign. So we're seeing that as a really unique opportunity in the industry, because when you have these different types of panels, it's a different experience, right? A transparent display where you can see stuff and control the transparency, that's pretty cool. Well, at BrightSign, we're always looking to the next thing. So we just introduced our new XD product line, which is basically allows you to have these, a player that has greater than the PC kind of capabilities in terms of, playing back video and HTML5 and integration with, location services and things like that. So, that was what we did last year. So as we look forward to the new year, we see a lot of technology developments coming out. 4K monitors, we see lots of them here on the show floor at DSE. I think that's going to be a big development over the next 18 months as the industry kind of ramps up production and prices start coming down. You're going to see people wanting those 4K monitors. So that's one of our focus areas is the 4K, and continuing to look at all these data sources where we can take that data and make the sign more intelligent. But the 4K is probably the biggest kind of technology thing that's changing, and we see that's really going to drive, a whole nother phase of people buying and replacing things and moving to the next level of technology. When you walk around the show floor here at DSE, you'll find a lot of the booths actually are powered by BrightSign players. Everything from the Nano Lumens guys to the Philips guys to the Casio. All of those are powered by BrightSign units. So as we look at it, our job is to how do we provide a player that's connected and can handle all these various data types to make the interactive experience excellent. And what that means is hooking up to all these new displays that are coming out, whether they're small, big, transparent, flexible, highway signs. That's what we do. The DSE show here is one of our top shows in the world that we go to, and what we really like about DSE is that people come here to find the products to deploy on real projects, and we basically doubled our booth size from 2012 to 2013, and we believe that the 2014 show will be even better.